So, are you ready to finally make sense of crypto? Good. We're going to break down the key ideas from the Complete Crypto Handbook and give you a simple, straightforward roadmap. It's time to turn all that confusion into real confidence. A lot of people feel like they completely missed the boat on crypto. And hey, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. But here's the thing. What if the biggest opportunity is actually still ahead of us? Because most experts agree, the next big crypto wave, the next bull run, it isn't really a question of if it's coming, but when. So let's just forget about the past. Let's focus on getting you ready for what's next.
And that really is the heart of it all. Success in this space isn't about some lucky break. Nope. It's about being prepared. It's about doing the homework early. So let's get you prepared.
Okay, first things first. Let's start at the very beginning. What in the world is cryptocurrency, and why does it seem like everyone is calling it a total financial revolution?
Well, at its core, it's actually pretty simple. It's digital money that exists on a global network. But here's the kicker. It's not controlled by any single bank or government, and that is what makes it a complete game changer.
And check this out. This really breaks it down. Think about a regular bank transfer. It needs a middleman, right? Which means it can be slow and you're going to pay fees. But with something like Bitcoin, it's person to person. It just cuts out that middleman entirely, which makes it faster, totally transparent, and yeah, available to pretty much anyone with a smartphone. That's decentralization in a nutshell. So why does all this matter? Well, first, you get financial freedom because you and only you are in control of your money. You get global access, so you can send value anywhere instantly. You get a limited supply, which can help protect against inflation. And you get total transparency. Every single transaction is on a public ledger. Okay, so now you get the why. Let's dive into the how. What are the actual tools you're going to need to get started in this new digital world? Let's map out your toolkit. First up is the exchange. Think of it like a stock market, but for digital money. This is your on-ramp, where you'll turn your dollars or euros into crypto for the first time.
Next, you need a wallet. But listen, it is not for carrying cash. A crypto wallet is where you store your private keys. And those keys are the digital proof that you own your coins. It's like your own personal digital Fort Knox.
And that brings us to the single most important part of your toolkit, the private key. Now, this is not like a password you can just reset. This is a secret code that gives you, or anyone who has it, complete access to your crypto. And if you lose it, your funds are gone. Forever. Seriously? Which leads to this massive takeaway. In the world of crypto, you are the bank. That means you get all the power, all the freedom, but it also means you have all the responsibility. It's a huge shift in thinking. All right, you've got your tools. Now it's time to face the biggest challenge in crypto. And trust me, it's not the tech. It's you. It's us. Let's talk about mastering our own emotions to handle those wild market swings. This chart just perfectly captures the emotional roller coaster, doesn't it? The market goes from optimism to excitement, all the way up to total euphoria. That's the danger zone. Then it plunges into fear and finally despair. But look closely at that despair. That's where the real opportunity is often hiding. Just knowing this cycle is half the battle. And what's driving this whole roller coaster? It really boils down to two very powerful emotions. Greed is what fuels those bull markets. It creates that fear of missing out, that FOMO, that makes people buy at the very top. And on the flip side, fear is what drives the bear markets, causing people to panic and sell at the absolute bottom. So this right here is the golden rule. It's all about fighting that natural instinct to just follow the herd. To master the market, you have to master your own emotions. You need the discipline to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing, to actually buy when there's fear in the streets, and to think about selling when everyone else is getting greedy. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's get down to brass tacks. How do you actually take your first steps into crypto without making those classic beginner mistakes? Let's make this super practical. Here it is, your Safe Start checklist. Super simple. Number 1, pick a well-known, trusted exchange. Number 2, set up your own secure wallet, one where you control the keys. And number 3, and this one is by far the most important, write down your recovery phrase. Okay,
If you only remember one thing from this whole thing, please let it be this. That recovery phrase is the master key to everything. Do not, I repeat, do not store it on your phone or your computer. Write it down on a piece of paper. Store that paper somewhere safe, offline, and never, ever, ever share it with anyone, for any reason.
All right. Once you've got that secure foundation built, we can start thinking about the long game. Because this isn't about getting rich quick. It's about building real, sustainable wealth through a smart, disciplined strategy.
So check this out. This is a fantastic model for how a beginner could think about their portfolio. You see, the biggest chunk, the core, is in the big established players, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then you've got a slice for what we call altcoins. That's any crypto that isn't Bitcoin, that might have high potential. A slice for stablecoins, which are tied to something like the dollar, gives you some safety. And a little slice for experiments keeps things interesting. This is what smart diversification looks like.
And managing that portfolio really just comes down to discipline. You got to track what you own. You have to make decisions based on your plan, not on your feelings. It's smart to keep some of those stablecoins handy so you can buy when prices drop. And of course, the absolute golden rule: never, ever invest more than you are truly prepared to lose.
So why are we talking about this now? Well, the crypto market tends to move in big cycles. And a really key event, known as the Bitcoin halving, has historically been the starting gun for every major bull run. See, about every 4 years, the reward for creating new Bitcoin gets cut in half. This reduces the supply, which tends to drive up the price. And we've already seen this happen 3 times.
And that really brings us right back to the beginning. All the signs suggest the next big wave is on its way. So the only real question left is, are you going to be ready for it? You now have the tools, you have the mindset, and you have the strategy. It's time to get prepared.